we have a finals of LordPerth's Skycrag Control deck and Phoenix's Mandrakes list. This is not the first time Mandrakes has made it to the finals. Mandrakes, in its debut, actually put two people into the finals as a Mandrakes Mirror Finals. So this will maybe be Mandrake's second win, or Skycrag Control's first win off of a nice debut.
Yeah, that would be sweet, but it's going to be a good matchup. I think we've seen the two veteran pilots navigating these decks to great expertise and skill. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch these guys. And I got to say, these Mandrakes lists have performed quite well as far as not taking forever to finish the games. And same thing with this control list. The games are a little slow initially, but when it turns the corner, it turns the corner really quickly. I mean, we saw that when LordPerth's games.
I think that's what makes this deck so enjoyable for me, because even though it is a control deck, it is not a control deck that is going to take forever to win. Mm-hmm. It's just going to control the board and say, as soon as I get to like X thing, then you're dead. 100%. The only difference here is if you're playing against like a hardcore life gain deck that aims to, gain 40, 50 life in giant chunks, like I don't know how easily the Skycrag deck could deal with the what is it called, the Edge of Prophecy deck, because yes, you have the two Bullseye, you have the two Barbarian Gorillas, but if I am playing Edge of Prophecy, getting back, Edge of Prophecy, getting back, like that is gaining a billion life over the course. Like it's not actual life, it's armor, but when you're playing like 60 plus power weapons and the deck is not giving enough pressure to stop you from doing that, it may be too hard to counter.
Plus, you're playing Throne Warden, right? That essentially gains you up to 12 life because it's a 4/4, it has Aegis, and it gains you 4 armor.
So when I made a note about Full Tilt, and one of the things that I mentioned in the slides, and I was thinking about this when building Edge Prophecy as well, is that the 5-mana 4/6 that draws you a relic from your discard pile doesn't die to Full Tilt. It's a 4/6.
Yeah, and that's the one. Is that the one that gives you?
It's the main way to like get back your edge, because you're like, you play it, get back edge, put it back in your hand, and then now it's just a 4/6 blocker. And in this case,
that's not the one that gives it double damage, right?
No, that's a 6/4.
6/4. Yeah. Gotcha. That's right. Oh man, this is fun. I'm excited to see this gameplay. We already saw, so it's interesting because we saw both decks defeat each other in the Swiss, or not in the Swiss, but now. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if things line up for the Mandrakes to take it down, or if this new rookie of the tournament can make a great showing.
Absolutely. And as you said, like we saw in the top 8 that Marvin took down Mandrakes and then in the top 4, Marvin lost to this Mandrakes list. So like, it's very interesting what we're gonna see. As far as hands go, this is a fine hand from LordPerth. It just doesn't do anything. It's one of those hands that you get in control every now and then that just like you're never sure about it because you don't know what it could hold.
Yeah, just spin your wheels, and you're not necessarily worried about discard. The Aegis, I mean, so here's the thing, right? I think one of the tipping points is definitely going to be Eavesdrop, because if you empty out all the spells that LordPerth took the time to put into their void, that's going to weaken a decent amount of their top end.
Absolutely. I didn't even think about that. Like, Eavesdrop countering Mandrakes also counters this Elysian spells deck. You just have to make sure that you can pop the Aegis first, which you can probably do in the case of like a Vara's Favor, right?
Mm-hmm. Vara's Favor, as well as the trigger. Is this the one that's running the 1/1 discard, or no?
No, this one is not playing. I guess it is. It's running the vines that when you discard a card, everybody discards 6, which will trigger and break Aegis so that you you can make them discard their hand and steal their void. Although, is this deck even playing Eavesdrop?
No,
this deck is not. Phoenix's deck is not playing Eavesdrop at all. Like, not in the market.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw a couple that were using like 1 or 2 ofs. Okay, so I mean, that being said, it's not completely unheard of either, because Lord Perth is running counter magic, so they came somewhat prepared for that. Whether that was on their radar or not, I'm not sure, but they do have tools against it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, there's the favor, there's the shoal stirrings, but nothing too aggressive here from Phoenix side of the board. What do you think he's looking to draw here?
Probably just like one of the lords, or I guess what is the best thing to do
Do
here?
you go to the market this early?
So this might seem weird, but I think honestly your best draw is probably grabbing the 4-mana 3/5. Because it doesn't die to any singular removal spell and makes them have to use cover plus torch. And if you can give it regen from your Vine Grafter, it becomes so unkillable and can give you a lot of solid damage early on.
All right, let's go ahead and stop the lifesteal, break the
Regen.
shield, regen. So it's looking pretty good so far for Lord Perth, just that they're not under a ton of pressure right now. They have the torch. So if you're Phoenix, are you worried about losing the grafter here, or are you just going to continue your game plan?
I mean, I'm worried about losing the grafter in the case that like we haven't gone to the market yet. So I definitely want to go to the market and give something regen first. So I can see putting away like probably the power here and maybe grabbing the flying Mandrake. Because that's going to get bigger and bigger as the game goes on. If we can see that get big enough that it can't be killed by a singular... Oh, is he playing the flying one? Yeah, they're playing the Clinging Scavenger, so I think the choice was made here just to have another ultimate on demand for later.
That makes sense. Plus, what's that ultimate? It's just to plunder. Okay.
It's just to plunder.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Just a nice cheap ultimate as soon as it comes into play. So, all right, we're seeing some good stuff here, right? Another board wipe, some top end starting to show up. We have two ways to access the market. Are we just looking for some power now, or are we looking for more interaction for Lord Perth?
I think we're just looking for... I guess we want the lords at this point. We've got some big dudes. As I said, we want the 3/5 that survives a lot of the damage, but we also just want... I think the best one is probably the one that gives us lifesteal. Because if we can start making all of our mandrakes have lifesteal, get in some damage, put us at like 60, 70 life, it's going to be a lot harder for them to clear out the game early, which gives us a lot of time to gradually become bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, because everything's going to keep the stats, and as those stats get higher, it's more spells that Lord Perth's going to have to devote to get one or two units off the board. So,
and I like this play here where Phoenix is not applying the dudes that he's grabbing just yet, because they want to see these cover from the storms and other removal spells like full tilt, like just clear the small fries, and you don't have to apply that much pressure. Just like say like here, you're only getting these 2-for-1s. You're not getting a 4-for-1. You're not getting a 5-for-1. You're just getting a 2-for-1. And that's probably how you have to at least try to play this.
Yeah, it's a solid play too here from Lord Perth. Like, instead of kind of biting into that, like, okay, I'm going to play a 3/3 body that's bigger than your guys. You're going to have to commit something further to the board. Fortunately, still missing that land drop, so they're not going to be able to double spell unless they want to do Torch plus Boundless Knowledge.
I mean, Torch plus cover clears the board because of the plus spell damage from the cover or from the adept. You can Torch to break the regen and then cover to deal with everything.
Yeah, but I think they may want to go grab the counter spell for okay, because they do know about the shoal stirrings, correct?
They do.
So, and that's definitely one of the ways that they can get ahead on cards. And we've shown, well, no, correction, we haven't seen Lord Perth really go ham on the counter magic yet, but we did see Marvin do it. So whether that was something that was discussed about with the team or not, we'll find out.
Oh, that was a fantastic draw. So Phoenix can now go into the market to grab Curtain Call, putting away the treasure trove, giving the Clinging Scavenger now regen and charge, and Curtain Call can stop from like losing to a Wrath in a key turn.
Ooh. So let's see. Lord Perth has the chance to go to the market again. They don't. maybe. Oh, let's see. We got to see if their discipline for counter magic is there or not. That's going to be the deciding factor because countering a curtain call at a good time is it could be huge.
It's really hard because the Wilderness Delivery means that the counterspell is going to be a 4-cost spell, which means that you can't really cover plus counterspell. I think the plan for Perth may be just a Wilderness Delivery and not play the Caleb's Choice and put it on top of the deck, and trying to like Boundless Knowledge for it later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's just so much removal.
Oh, this was the person playing 3 Drop Main. Okay, never mind. I'll take it back. I didn't see it in the market, so I didn't see it at all. I was like, oh,
so
no, this is 3 Drop Main.
Yeah, because they need the adept for the extra damage. They're gonna draw. They could still torch to break the regen if they want.
Torch is a slow spell, though.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, missing power, man. That's been killing LordPerth this game right now, unfortunately. I think if they had a little act, they would be in a lot better position if they had more power. So what are you looking to do here if you're LordPerth?
Probably start with a strategize, maybe. Or either we're making this line where we are going to attack, deal damage, cover from the storm to deal with most of the threats. And then maybe strategize next turn to try to get some power drops and then strategize into like a draw 2.
Yeah, of note, they did play the one that was voidbound, so Phoenix is not aware of the second one in hand.
Right.
So that may, I mean, granted, we know looking at the board right now, the only thing they could do is shoal strings, but depending on what, yeah, of course, more regen. So it's exactly the game plan that you were talking about. LordPerth down to 7 with no life gain, and regen shields makes it very difficult for them to get something off the board nice and cleanly. Unless they, no, this will fire. Still no, I think it's just unfortunately their hand, they're just being a little too expensive right now.
Yeah, it's they're chalked up on wanting to like double spell, but they really can't. The play's gotta be to strategize first, right? You strategize, yes. Try to find a power. You probably put away one of these deliveries because you don't need multiple of them. And then I guess
I don't think there's an out here.
Well, so is the play like strategize, put away an Arcano fly because it's so expensive, and then you Wilderness Delivery for what is in the market at this point? Because the perma's already out. I was hoping that perma would still be in there, but it's not.
Yeah, and unfortunately, nothing's going to do it because of the regen shields plus the curtain call.
Yeah, so we have left is Flicker, Caleb's Choice, Reread Tomb.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah. The Flicker, we saw that break regen took some effect earlier in the tournament, but I think right now with the only follow-up thing being Soulfire, it's not going to be enough. And yeah,
that was a concession.
Game one goes to Phoenix. Well played.
Well played. Like I said, like the regen is very important here. Making them waste multiple removal spells on your units is a way to choke them up on like how they get to play the game. Because if they're spending their whole turn like breaking regen, killing your dude, then you just get to play these other threats, and you're slowly building your mandrakes up to be better and better because you get to play them again later. So if you're investing in the mandrake's future by giving it regen, then over time it's just going to outvalue your opponent.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we saw happen. Granted, the going back to it, I mean, just being choked on power made it very difficult. Where even LordPerth just couldn't double spell, right? And we saw them make some sacrifices to try to draw power, and they just didn't draw it. So hopefully we'll see a little more cooperation from the top of the deck here in game 2. Keeping a hand 2 Soulfire without the second fire source, but I mean, when you have one in hand, I don't think the influence is going to be too bad, especially with a strategize in hand. So what kind of opener are we looking from LordPerth here to try to slow down the Phoenix list?
Oh, we've got this torch, so if they've got like an early 1-drop or 2-drop, we can probably answer it. They don't, though. They have a very slow opener, and not the kind of opener that you want to see against a deck like this. Like, it's the 2 Vine Creepers that would have been like card draw for them later that they drew without the ability to. It's actually 3, right? There's one in the discard pile too. Jeez. So that's not great. and
Do
they
they
don't have
just want to sit on these till later since you pointed out they're such a crucial part of this matchup?
maybe because it could make Lord Perth skip turns as well. Unfortunately, Lord Perth does have things like this Wisdom of the Elders to, even though they're wasting a lot of time early, they can still draw cards. So I think we want to hold this 1-1 until we can make it a 4-4, obviously. The 2-1 could see play as like just a way to bait some removal spells out of the hand. I would like to keep one, probably. I wouldn't play out both of them. Oh, Speedcrafter is nice. Again, we're choked up on Phoenix's side looking for that 5th power because both of the ultimates require the 1+4 or 2+3.
Yeah, and it's there's going to be some tension now, right? Because Lord Perth has some fast speed interaction. He has the ability to leave it up and, like you said, draw if nothing happens. Phoenix is aware of the various board wipes that they're running, so they really kind of want to do what you initially pointed out is try to get regen on as many things as possible to start taxing Lord Perth's removal. So how they navigate this one is going to be interesting. Get him for 2. I could totally see Lord Perth waiting here. And then playing another creeper. So,
Okay.
oh man, I mean, he just fires off the storm here, right?
Well, Storm is a sorcery, so or is not a fast spell, if I
I'm
recall.
sorry, I mean on like here on his turn.
Yeah. So yes, I think that's a pretty easy Storm. Not a doubt in my mind. I just questioned what the thought process was on Perth's side, like, or on Phoenix's side, because you don't want to just bring everything into play, right? Like, I don't know. Phoenix,
Ooh,
I think
yeah.
Phoenix, I think right now is under the impression that we've wasted too much time. I am the aggressor in this matchup. I need to be threatening life total. And I can definitely see that line, especially if like you're trying to make things cost less, aka Shoulder Dredger, by losing units. So that's one way to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we've thrown away like a lot of our units on 2-for-1s and 3-for-1s, so it doesn't feel the greatest.
Do you Soulfire here or do you Flash Flood? Never mind. I stank. We got our answer.
Yeah, I think it doubles Soulfire for sure. It puts a Soulfire in the discard pile so your adept can get it back. It also puts 3 spells in the discard pile as opposed. It's still 3, I guess, to Flashfire twice. Flashfire, I think, or Flash Flood, I would save
Oh,
for
here we
the regen
go.
units.
Here we go. So the WinCon is online. All right, milling the defile is good because that's pretty much a whiff and blank in this list.
Well, Shoulder to Mills from the bottom, I
Oh
believe.
yeah. Good point. Good point. All right, so we're gonna see the flash flood come down, take that out. They're gonna hold the soul fire. Probably now they want to. They're pretty close to being able to fire off 3 of them, and it fuels the void,
I,
fuels the tomb.
I still wonder
Ooh,
if Flash Flood was the play there. I think it might have been Soulfire, mainly just because you.
cheaper to kill two
Well,
units.
it's cheaper to kill 2 units, but it's also it kills regen units. So where like
Oh yeah,
the
yep.
Soulfire can break the regen, but if it's on a regen like a 4-4, it has to take another like a third Soulfire to actually get the kill off.
Fair. Or you could just draw like a champion. So if Phoenix fires off this machinations, do you go to the market for counterspell, or do you still just draw 4 cards?
You probably go to the market for the counterspell, right? It's the only machinations in their deck.
It looks like it resolves. They rather draw 4 here.
All right, I can
Yeah,
see it.
I think I would have leaned towards countering. Oh no, it can't counter it. Wait, yeah, it can. It's a sorcery spell.
It's a sorcery, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Perth has a counterspell for both.
yeah.
I guess Caleb's Choice only gets single faction spells.
I'm with you though. I think I would have countered it as well and just leave the stuff in the void. But
Yeah.
we're also not in the top or in the finals of the. All right. Okay. It's a pretty good grab, man. That's
Yeah.
so.
With
All
only
right.
like is oh wait, is this just they don't
Oh, are
care
they
because
just?
they're is Phoenix just dead? Yeah, Phoenix may just be dead here. and then we just untap, warning shot, kill you.
Oh, this was yeah.
Or
Oh,
just
all
kill you.
right. Never
19.
mind. Never mind. My bad. It's hard to tell because we can't see how many. We can't see how much Tomb hits for. So
Yeah.
hey, math is not only for blockers; it's for people going face with
Yep.
a ridiculous amount of spells in their void. Apparently.
Yep.
So okay, that makes so much more sense. Yeah, if you could just let your opponent do whatever they want, if you could just kill them as soon as you untap. So
Sure. Play 3 units. That's fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. None
You
of them
put
have
30
life
power
steal.
in
We're good.
play. Yeah, we're okay.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
life gain triggers on board. Sure. All right.
Yeah, yeah. So the turning point definitely was what you mentioned with a turn where Phoenix committed to the board and it was easily scooped up by Storm. But so is that obviously committing to the board? But from LordPerth's perspective, is that kind of the opening hand and the way he wants his spells to kind of work out?
Yeah. So like you want to see like dude cover, and then clean up the rest as you go. Again, a lot of the thought process here was maybe instead of playing out your 3/2s and then a 2/2 and a 2/2, like just play the 2/2, go to the market, just play your 1/1, make it a 4/4, and like continually it's a little bit slower, but it'll supply them with units that are harder to kill on average,
Mm-hmm.
especially given that a lot of the removal is dealing 3 damage. So like getting your units out of those 3 damage benchmarkers means that they have to spend another card or another 3 mana.
Plunder here most likely will cash in one of those sigils, and it does. And it's looking decent on both sides of the field. LordPerth has removal, right? He can do that 1-2 punch to take out 2 units if he wants. But then Phoenix also has the shoal stirrings to get them back. So being very patient with the regen, the vine. Let's see what. Okay, okay, I
Sure.
like this.
I like this line a lot.
Yeah, very much so.
This you're not really worried about the 3/5 just yet, and it didn't get life gain because you were able to deal with that. So it's a pretty safe warning shot.
So is the Goliath's ability not a May? You have to silence something?
You have to ultimate when it starts your turns. You have to silence something.
Oh, okay. So there comes down vines, 2 vines, and they're going to draw, but no discard. So it's not crazy, right? Cover can break, eavesdrop, but we see the shield. And of note, Phoenix has had eavesdrop both games or just one?
Well, so there are 3 eavesdrops in the deck.
Oh, there we go. There you go. Hitting the power. You like to see it. Okay, okay. So they have some options here.
It's a good. As soon as one card is discarded, so like if Flash Flood happens, then it's going to trigger that these vines will break Aegis. So
Gotcha.
LordPerth has to be careful because as soon as that Aegis is broken, an eavesdrop can come in and clean up the job. And it doesn't even matter like right now, right? It matters maybe 6 turns from now, where like, they're going for the actual kill and they don't think about it as much, and the Aegis gets broken, and oh no.
All right, so it looks like we're gonna see cover here.
This is a really good, I guess, good cover turn too. You get the torch, and then cover for most of the board.
Question is, where did the torches go?
Probably the 4/2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they still have the shoal stirrings to get things back. Devour's a blank. How if you're Phoenix, how much precedence or priority are you giving on this getting this eavesdrop to resolve, knowing how LordPerth intends to win the game?
Like I would love to see it come out, but we don't really have a way to remove Aegis on command just yet. I think what we're trying to do here, and this is a weird reanimate, but I think use shoal stirrings for the vines and the 3 or the 4/5, because the vines will give you an extra way to deal with the Aegis in case that happens by accident somewhere. There you go. I think Phoenix is the line there.
Now remember, this Goliath is silent, so it's not going to ultimate.
But like, we don't need that though. We wanted the big body that has a hard
Mhm.
time getting killed. And Boundless Knowledge can't even draw cards unless they're okay with losing Aegis. Alright, getting that power. So, are we getting a Tomb here? Getting a Permafrost for the 4/5.
Sick,
That's a
sick.
and that's a draw. Okay. This one looks like a game for Phoenix. They're at 10 life. They're going to
Yeah.
6.
Once again, we've seen it a couple of times. No life gain on
Yep,
the Skycrag list.
sure. And like these vines are holding LordPerth hostage because as soon as they play an Unleash card, it's a field day for eavesdrop.
Yep. To the point where it may have just needed to be to rip off the band-aid, right?
Yeah.
To essentially get it done early, out of the way. Oh, the flicker. Okay.
Okay. And then the
All
flicker
right.
gets wasted so it can't protect eavesdrop anymore. I like it. I like it. It's down to the wire. Are we gonna the Soulfire for some removal? Gonna pass.
They can ultimate it, but they can so far 3 times, which kills everything.
Sure. Oh, don't. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so this is a discard at the end of Phoenix's turn
Yep.
in the hopes that we get an Aegis on our turn, which
And
makes
this
it
actually worked out a little bit better than they anticipated because it stopped the life speaker from coming down.
yep.
Now, granted, they don't get to double knowledge, but so this is going to be the tough spot, right? Because
Yep.
now Lord Perth is kind of held hostage,
Oh,
right?
so Lord Porth isn't held hostage anymore. The vines are gone.
Well, I mean, as far as their life total,
Oh,
right?
that's
Because
true
now
because
every single thing that Phoenix plays is a must kill.
so now the best draw for Phoenix is the Charge Grafter.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, this is a good game.
This is down to the wire. Like at I think at this point we only need what 3 more power to make a delivery just a kill on its own. Because I think it's got to be at this point like we've cast enough spells that it's probably 21 damage.
I don't know. It's going to be close. And I mean, they could play Life Speaker, then go play Grafter and go to the market. They have just enough power to do that. They open themselves up to some shenanigans, but I mean, Lord Perth just drew 4 cards. I mean, you got to step on the pedal here if you're Phoenix, right?
Yeah, I don't feel bad about just dropping my hand at this point, but being able to drop my hand plus Grafter is a really good feeling. We're probably grabbing Machinations here, putting away a Victimless Crime or a Devile. That makes sense. And yeah, it's probably got to be Machinations, although I could really consider a Curtain Call. If you can untap from this point with a Curtain Call, I don't think there's any way that Perth can stop you. So Machinations would be nice here, but if Phoenix got to untap with that Curtain Call and then turn sideways, I don't know what could have been done at that point.
Oh man, this is so nerve-wracking for both players. Both players.
They're really
So
good
playing,
finals.
yeah, playing Moth doesn't do anything. I mean, it gets rid of one blocker, but or
It
one
gets rid of a
attacker.
1/1, yeah.
That's not good enough.
Do you
Soulfire can get rid of both things, but do you do it now or do you wait? Because they just went to the market. You also have Flash Flood that can kill.
do you strategize just to try to find a delivery to find a counterspell for the Machinations? Oh no, there's no counterspell, so we would have to strategize to find a Skycrag Adept to redraw the Flicker.
I like this play. I
Yeah,
think
this is
don't let them ultimate, so you have to burn another spell. You get to keep your Flash Flood to kill anything they bring back with regen.
okay.
And mill the Shoal Stirrings, but that was on the bottom, like you pointed out. This is so if they can get back a 7, there's no another Dredger in the void, right? We haven't seen that this game.
No. Yeah, so this is probably just a Machinations and then play Dredger for 4 next turn.
I mean, the restraint on this eavesdrop though, they know it.
Well, so
Phoenix knows.
there's no restraint. It's more just that Phoenix or Lord Perth has had the Aegis the entire time. and no way to break the Aegis like on command.
Yeah.
LordPerth or Phoenix is playing a 3 set of Vara's favor in order to break the Aegis, but we just haven't seen it all this whole match.
Okay, none of that has charge. They can kill both the regens.
Okay.
And then stun one, which buys them some time.
Well, we gotta make sure the one that breaks the Aegis is gone. Then we probably get rid of the... Yep, okay.
Yep, don't let them go to the market. Oh, man, this is so good. I hope you guys are enjoying this, because this is amazing.
And that way Arcanofly can get rid of the 5/3 next turn. Oh, we're just gonna stun it. Okay, that's fine, yeah. This is a good one. Okay. So now we're...
So you can...
What are we trying to do? We're like grab Skycrag Adepts to counter the Eavesdrop or the Shoal Stirrings. And then we still have the power to draw 2 cards at instep.
So...
Okay. Is that a kill?
Oh, man, I think they needed to...
Like, Mandrakes has no way of interacting with the market outside of going to their own market, or no way of interacting with Relics outside of going to their own market for the disrupt. So at this point, is it just safe to go? You still have to deal with these 2 things on board. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you only have enough. If they go adept to grab like a Soulfire or something to kill one of these guys, the 2 victimless crimes. I mean, LordPerth is a solid player. I think they have to feel like they know there's at least one removal spell in Phoenix's hand at this point.
Is this...
You can Wisdom of the Elders to try to get the...
So Wisdom puts you down to 5. Have we played Power for a turn? Because if we Wisdom going down to 5, Full Tilt would do it, by the way. Like, Full Tilt would also... Like, I think Wisdom is the play. What did we just do? Why did we discard a card just now? Oh, were we resolving a strategize putting a card on the bottom? I guess that's strategize probably better than Wisdom anyway. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh man, so close.
But so the 2 outs were you Wisdom for...
Well played. Yeah. Well played, gents. That was a great. So so they had 15 spells in the graveyard. Is that what it was?
That sounds right.
Yeah, so, congratulations, Phoenix. That was absolutely amazing. LordPerth, fantastic job there. Man, that was a great game. That was a fantastic series for the finals, for sure.
Absolutely. We got to see a lot of cool decks today. And congratulations, Phoenix, for winning the Peasant Eternal Spring Open with Mandrakes. So that's Mandrakes' 2nd win. And congratulations on winning $100.76.
Spicy. That's gonna be enough to foil out your deck. Look at that.
Yeah, for sure. Congratulations, LordPerth, for making 2nd place and getting your 2nd finals because you won the last of the TNA TJ. So congratulations, everyone, for making top 8. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching at home. We will try to get Phoenix in an interview if we can, just to get an idea on why they decided to bring the Mandrakes deck with the Eavesdrop mains and all that good stuff. So
yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it was great job piloting in list. They did an absolute great job, especially going up against not only known threats but a new deck like this Skycrag list. But they figured out the formula, right? They took down 2 Skycrag control lists to get to the top 8. So maybe that's kind of the rock paper scissors of the format, right? So it was great. I thought both decks had a good shot of making things happen. It just that recursion in that Mandrakes list is so difficult to deal with, man. It's just absolutely backbreaking.
It was really anyone's game for the most part. LordPerth was so close to coming back in that last game on numerous accounts, and it was just a matter of like drawing the right cards. Like if that strategize drew either a Full Tilt to Wrath up board or another Flash Flood in order to kill the stun unit, stun the the 7/6 and then killed the 7/6 because that was exactly how much power they had, then it was able to clear out that game.
Well, even then, if they hit the first Flash Flood that they played, if they had one extra mana where they could have killed the last Mandrake instead of just stunning it,
Absolutely.
that would have changed the dynamic of the game as well. But I mean, once again, going back to it, and of note through this that Phoenix never got the evasive, right? Evasive, which is invasive creeper online. Yeah. The invasive creeper online to gain a bunch of life. So he was back against the ropes the entire game as well, knowing with the tomb in play that, you know, there's a chance I could die next turn depending on what unleash cards were played. So it was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit.